At the intersection of tradition and technology, we discover smarter ways to grow more, waste less, and harvest greener. Together, we are cultivating a future where every harvest sustains the earth and its people. Join us 11:15 a.m. Mondays and Fridays on Global TV, Channel 365 DSTV, StarTime Channel 276, or YouTube Livestream GSA Initiative. Agriculture for today and tomorrow, as we share groundbreaking ideas, empowering farmers, and celebrate greenhouse solutions. Together, let's grow the future.
Hello, welcome welcome to today's episode of Agriculture for Today and Tomorrow TV show, where we explore innovative ideas, practical solutions, and transformative conversations shaping the future of agriculture in Nigeria and, of course, across Africa. Remember, this TV show is a Media for Agriculture Development project of GSAI, that's Growth for Sustainable Agriculture Initiative. And yes, we are an agri-focused NGO committed to promoting knowledge, innovation, and partnerships that transform agriculture for today's needs and tomorrow's opportunities. You know, you can always watch a replay of this show and all other episodes. Drop your comments, questions, or contact us through our website. That is www.gsa-initiative.org. Or you can follow us on our social media, on Facebook, on YouTube, on LinkedIn, on Instagram, all at GSA Initiative. I am your host today, Daniel Black, and it's always my pleasure to have you join us. Today on Agriculture, or for today and tomorrow, we are discussing a business that is rapidly becoming one of Nigeria's biggest non-oil opportunities. What business is that? Agro commodity exports. Does Nigeria have enough agricultural produce to begin exporting or to export? Is it actually a profitable business? Who should venture into it? And what does it take to succeed in agriculture or in agro-export business? Let's delve deep into it and let's find out. Now, you know, Nigeria is strictly blessed with fertile land, diverse agroecological zones, and millions of hardworking farmers. Now, these natural advantages have positioned our country as one of Africa's leading producers of several agricultural commodities that are highly demanded across Europe, Asia, the Middle East, and North America. Now, some of these leading export commodities include sesame seeds, cocoa beans, raw cashew nuts, dried ginger, hibiscus flower, the one we all call zobo, shea butter, soybeans, groundnuts, palm kernel products, honey, spices, and fruits and vegetables. All these are crops that we have in high demand. And many people ask whether Nigeria has enough agricultural produce to export. And the answer is a categorical yes, but not enough to satisfy global demand. Of course not. Although Nigeria produces large volumes of these commodities, challenges such as low productivity, poor storage facility, post-harvest losses, inadequate processing, and of course limited value addition prevent us from reaching our full potential as an agro-export hub. So rather than seeing these challenges as obstacles, we should see them as opportunities for investments, innovation, and expansion. And that is what we are encouraging you here in Agriculture for Today and Tomorrow, that we need to begin to expand, we need to begin to innovate. So let us answer the question, is agro-commodity export a good business? First and foremost, we have said that Nigeria has enough to export. Nigeria is feeding itself. Nigeria can feed itself and also export. Is it a good business? Absolutely. Agro-commodity export remains one of Nigeria's most promising businesses because it provides access to international markets, it earns valuable foreign exchanges, it creates employment, and of course offers better income opportunities than relying solely on local markets. And as global demands for food and agriculture raw materials continue to rise, Nigeria has an excellent opportunity to become a major supplier. Now, One interesting fact or that you need to know is that you do not need to own a farm, or you do not need to own millions to become an agro exporter. Many successful exporters work by purchasing quality produce from farmers, aggregating sufficient volumes. When we say aggregating, buying from different farmers, gathering, in fact, let us leave the word aggregating and use gathering from different farmers and having them in sufficient quantity, ensuring proper cleaning. So this is where value addition comes into play. Cleaning, grading, packaging, and documentation before supplying international buyers. The standards for international or exportation is different from local market. In the local market, you can just take it to the market. In fact, you find out that in the local market, when we sell beans, some sell it with the peels, some sell it just as fresh after drying and bringing it direct to the market. But in the international market, you have to sort it, you have to grade it, you have to document it. There has to be traceability before you take it there. So this actually means opportunities exist for commercial farmers, cooperatives, commodity aggregators, processors, logistics companies, young entrepreneurs, and investors looking to participate in global agricultural value chain. Now, however, let's understand that exporting is not just about buying and selling. International buyers expect you to be consistent in your quality and compliance with global standards. To become a successful agro exporter, you should, one, of course, register your business with the Corporate Affairs Commission. That is the very first step. You need to have a registered business that is able to go into contracts. It has to be its own legal entity. Then obtain an exporter certificate from the Nigerian Export Promotion Council. This is the Nigerian agency responsible for licensing people to export, and even foreign buyers will need this certification to be sure that you are a legit exporter. Ensure your products are properly dried, clean, graded, and free from contamination. You need to know the standards of dryness, the standard of cleanness. There are percentages for different goods and different markets. If you're selling to Europe, there are percentage of humidity, which is the standard of dryness, or their cleanliness standard is different from Asia, is different from America, and all of that. So you need to understand that. Obtain the necessary phytosanitary certificate from the Nigerian Agricultural Quarantine Service. That is another set of people that will need to ensure that you are not exporting any disease, you are not exporting any outborne disease. So they will give you the necessary licensing that you need after, of course, inspecting your commodity. Now, package and label your products according to the international requirements of your target market. You know, like I have mentioned, the requirements are a bit different. What the specific details that the American market needs varies a little bit from the specific details that the Asian market or the European market or any other international market needs. Even across Africa, there are some varying details, and you need to understand exactly. Now, maintain product traceability and prepare all required export documentation. This is where there is a gap between Nigeria, between the local market and the international market. Every product needs to have traceability. We need to know who farmed it, who cleaned it, who processed it. And when we say who, we're not necessarily talking about the individuals, we are talking about the organizations through which these things pass through, because documentation and traceability is very key for health safety, is very key for the ability to know, to be able to trace any risk, or for risk management, as the case may be. Now, where necessary, also obtain internationally recognized certifications such as Global GAP, Good Agronomic Practices. We have HACCP. We also have the ISO 2000. These are international certificates that will also boost your chances of having good products, marketing, and having good buyers from the international market. Several Nigerian companies have already demonstrated that agricultural export. So this is not a new niche. This is not you doing something afresh. And of course, these companies are profitable when managed professionally. Now, example, this is not an advertorial, but companies such as Olam Agri Nigeria, companies such as Afex Commodities Exchange, companies such as Standard Global, Starling Global, we have John Vets Industries Limited, we have Wakot Limited, and a whole lot of others that are blazing the trail in agro commodity exports and have set the standard, or have cleared the path for new agro-commodity export. And like we had mentioned, you don't need to have millions of naira. You don't need to be a farmer yourself. All you need to do is leverage on the existing information, leverage on the existing pathway, and start the process. However, there's a lot of learnings to be done. There's a lot of understanding. There's a lot of familiarization with the process, because in the international market, there is documentation. Now, to connect Nigeria agricultural commodities to international markets, you need to be able to partner, you need to be able to collaborate, you need to be able to leverage on these existing structures. The future of agro-commodity exports also lies in value addition, because like I said, you cannot just harvest from your market and take straight to the international market. So instead of exporting raw commodities alone, Nigeria should invest more in cleaning, grading, processing, packaging, and branding. And kudos to the federal government that recently banned the exportation of raw cocoa. Right now, Nigeria has insisted that before any type of cocoa should leave Nigeria, it has to have some form of value addition. It cannot live in its raw form. And that is a very, very good one for Nigeria. That's a very good one from the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and all the policy makers that came together to put that in place. Because this creates more jobs, it increases export earnings, and makes Nigerian products more competitive globally. Now, as government policies continue to encourage economic diversification away from oil, agro-commodity exports presents an opportunity for farmers, agro-businesses, young entrepreneurs to build sustainable agro-businesses while contributing to national economic growth. So the question is no longer whether Nigeria can export agricultural commodities. That is long answered and the evidence is clear by the number of agro-commodity export companies that are rising every day. But the real challenge is how quickly can we increase production, improve quality, and build reliable supply chains that meets international standards. If we actually get these right, agriculture will not only feed Nigeria, but will also be a major source of foreign exchange employment and inclusive economic prosperity. If you know to the audience now, you can, like I said, you can drop your comments, your questions on our social media. So if you know other agro-commodity export companies, you can drop them in our comment section at GSA Initiative, where this episode will be posted. You can drop other examples of them and other challenges you think agro-commodity exporters face. That will be discussed in our next episode, where we'll be discussing on the challenges that agro-commodity exporters face in Nigeria, to also give you more light as you decide on going into such a business. What are the challenges that could come across your way? As always, the future of Nigerian agriculture depends on effective policies, strong institutions, private sector investment, and the resilience and innovation of our farmers. Continued dialogue and evidence and solutions remain essential to achieving sustainable food security and economic growth. I remain Daniel Black, your host, and this has been Agriculture for Today and Tomorrow TV show, which is a media for agriculture development project of GSAI. Follow us on our social medias at GSA Initiative on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and LinkedIn to drop your comments or to contact us for more information. Thank you.
In the heart of our field lies the future of agriculture, sustainable, innovative, and powered by smart solutions from the rich soil of Africa to high-tech farms around the globe. Agriculture is evolving to meet the demands of tomorrow. At the intersection of tradition and technology, we discover smarter ways to grow more, waste less, and harvest greener. Together, we are cultivating a future where every harvest sustains the earth and its people. Join us 11:15 a.m. Mondays and Fridays on Global TV, Channel 365 DSTV, StarTime Channel 276, or YouTube livestream GSA Initiative. Agriculture for today and tomorrow, as we share groundbreaking ideas, empowering farmers, and celebrate greenhouse solutions. Together, let's grow the future.